All right, good morning. It's a great morning from Tupelo, Mississippi. We're in the Loop podcast right now. I'm Drew Belt. I have my co-host Sam Jeffcoat, and it is a fantastic morning because we have somebody on the podcast that we've been wanting to have for a long time, Julia Johnson Gillespie. How are you this morning, Julia? Good morning.
Good morning, y'all. I'm good. I'm excited to be with you guys. I think it'll be a fun little time we're about to spend together.
Absolutely. And before we get going, I just want to introduce you. It's going to take about 35 minutes to introduce you and all your accolades, and we know that, right? So just going through a few things here because I wanted to go through it so everybody knows everything about you. Um, obviously you're from Louisiana, from St. Gabriel, Louisiana, a suburb of Baton Rouge. You were the 2017-2018 SEC Freshman of the Year, three-time Augusta National Women's Amateur participant, four-time SEC All-SEC selection, two-time All-American with the Women's Golf Association and the Golf Week All-American, 2021 Arnold Palmer Cup selection, four-time All-SEC honor roll. You're smart as well. You were the leader of the 2021 national champion Ole Miss golf team. When you graduated from Ole Miss, you held the number one scoring average in Ole Miss history, 72.74 of the 154 rounds, including a 61 NCAA record at the Battle of the Beach in Cabo. You have 4 wins. You were also the program leader in career rounds of under par with 78 and career rounds in the 60s of 20. And the best ever finish for Ole Miss women's golf with the NCAA championship with a 5th place finish. When I go through those numbers, Julia, is it memories what comes back to you when I go through all those numbers with you?
Yeah, it's memories, but everything you said, I think about the team that year, like the freshman of the year. I think about the team that we had when I shot 61. I think about the team that was in Cabo when we won. I think about obviously the national championship team and the memories that we made in Scottsdale. So it's it's obviously a lot of individual accolades that would have never ever come to fruition had it not been for the team around me. I take a lot of pride in being a really big team player. I always was my whole career. I cared a lot about what our team did. I cared more about what our team did than ever what I did. And I know that that can sound cliche and not true, but it actually is really true. When I shot 61, all I remember was we were going head to head with LSU, and we were actually a few strokes behind LSU going into that last round. And I told coach, I was like, we are not losing to them today. We're not doing it. And I went and had a great day, obviously, but we won as a team, which was pretty cool. So it's just the people that you surround yourself with, the coaches, and the memories that you make. That 61 would have meant nothing had we not won as a team and had it not been such a great week. So when you say those things, I'm very proud of myself, but I think about the people that were around me and what we were able to do, and it's really pretty special.
So, Julia, that's so awesome. I gotta ask one question though. Talking about going head to head against LSU. Being from Baton Rouge, was that a little extra like oomph behind it?
Feel like as I've gotten older, my I don't wanna say hatred, but my maybe a little bit of hatred for LSU has gotten stronger as I have become more of a rebel. I fell in love with Ole Miss more and more every year, and I like that LSU team. I have a bunch of friends. Some of my best friends are on that team, but, it was still the thing of that was my junior year. We still had no respect as a team, and we talked about this throughout my entire college career that nobody respected us. Nobody believed we could do it. Nobody believed they thought SECs was a fluke. They didn't think we were gonna be able to win a national championship, and LSU was kind of always this program that just had so much prestige, and everyone just even if they weren't as good as us, it was LSU, so they were gonna beat us, and, um, I was getting pretty sick and tired of it by that point, 3 years in, and I said, "They're just not doing it this time," and they had a great team. Ingrid Lindblad was on that team. One of my best friends, LaTonna Stone, was on that team. They had an unbelievable team that year and for a lot of my college career, and so to go head to head with them, quite a lot and come out on top quite a lot felt pretty good.
Yeah, and what you don't know, Sam, is she was actually committed to LSU
Oh wow.
before she committed to Ole Miss. Um, the honest truth is, when you committed to Ole Miss, we weren't really anything, were we?
No. No.
And so we we really didn't have, and this is all props to you, right? And you don't know this, and you probably don't know how I feel about it. You don't know how Coach Hankis feels about it. You probably, well, you might with her. But we really didn't have an identity, and we didn't really have a chance. And we didn't have a girl that we knew could win and compete at that national level until we got Julie on the team. And when we got Julie on the team, everything changed. So talk about like when you came in, what was it like at Ole Miss? And obviously, we were ranked 120 when you got there.
Yeah.
And talk about like the change in the program leading up until the SECs, the national championship. Everything really changed with you there, didn't it?
It was I actually remember, at that point, I made a decision. So when I committed to LSU, I committed when I was, I think, almost 16, so still 15, which they've totally changed the rules now. It's one of the very few good things the NCAA has done is that they've pushed back that commitment deadline. And so I was really young when I committed, and I had no idea what I wanted. I went to a school that I thought I was gonna fall in love with, and I didn't like it. I'm not gonna say what school it was, but then I thought that that was the only option was to go to LSU because my whole family had gone there, and I was a minute and a half from U Club where they practice, and I got older, and I went with friends to Ole Miss who had committed there, the 2 girls I went in, my freshman year with, and they were committed to Ole Miss, and I was looking around, and I was like, "This is a college, like, this is like a college town, this is what it's supposed to be like. You're not supposed to be in the capital city of Louisiana." It just I felt so much more at home, and I was so sad because I thought I was stuck with LSU, and not stuck because LSU is an unbelievable school, and anyone who goes there is very, very I mean, they're so fortunate, but for me, it wasn't the spot because I needed to get out of Baton Rouge. I needed to get away from my parents and go build my own identity. And so I remember I had decommitted from LSU and I committed to Ole Miss after a few months. And there was actually a tournament at U Club. Drew, I don't know if you remember this, but y'all were playing in the tournament at U Club that LSU was hosting. And I went out there and I had my Ole Miss hat on and I was so excited to go watch y'all. And I don't know what y'all finished that week, probably close to
I can actually tell you we lost by 60 to Duke.
there you go. So, it wasn't like it was a great showing, like, "Oh my gosh, I committed to Duke, and I'm gonna go walk around and be like, sport my Duke hat." It was, I was still so proud that I was going to Ole Miss, and I think that there's a lot of greater powers that were at hand with all of that. I attribute a lot of it to God, knowing that that's where I was really supposed to be was Oxford. And then I got there and I was like, "Well, why can't we do it? Like, we're in the SEC school, we play these teams, we play all the SEC schools, we have just as good of a schedule as anyone else. We have even at that point, I know our facilities weren't what they are now, but we still had great facilities." I said, "Why can't we be as good as these other teams?" And I knew, and I think what I always knew is that we worked harder, and I think that that's something we held throughout the entirety of my career was that I don't care what school you go to, I don't care how long y'all have been good, I don't care if you won a national championship, we're going to outwork you. And we always did. We had a team that really enjoyed working and practicing, and we structured practices to where it made it fun, and we had ladder drills, and it was very competitive always in practice. And so I really enjoyed it, and I always in the back of my mind, I was like, "We can do." I always thought we could do it, and I remember saying it in an interview at the national championship. Someone asked me, and I was like, "No one ever thought that we could do it. I always did." And so I think that that belief was really important.
Well, I think the way that you're describing, um, I guess, the way that you're describing what you saw in Ole Miss was really the way that Coach Hinkes sold the program. Really said,
Yeah,
"Hey, why not us?"
yeah.
And that was kind of a selling point. All right, so now you went there, you won a national championship, you had all these accolades, and it's boosted. And like I said, you can say it was the team. I'm going to tell you straight to your face that you were the cog, and you were the person that really stirred the pot when you got there. Um, so so looking back on it now, the team is now a perennial top 25. They're winning every year. They go to the national championship every year. And you've been a really good ambassador. You narrate some of their videos, that kind of stuff. What's it feel like now? Does it feel like a proud mom looking back at the program and where it is now?
Yes, I'm old. I have never felt ever Every passing month, I feel older and older and older. But what stays true always is that if Ole Miss is playing in a golf tournament, there is a tab on my phone, there's a tab on my computer. I don't care if I'm at work, I don't care where I am. I'm refreshing it every 3 holes. I'm texting Corey. I don't know if I will ever not care so deeply about that program because it gave me everything. Everything in my life, I attribute maybe 95% of it to Ole Miss golf because it's just given me so much, and the best years of my life were spent in Oxford, and so I just care very deeply about that program. If they asked me to jump off a bridge, I'd be like, "Tell me what bridge, I'll go do it." And I'll do anything they ask. I'll narrate videos. I just love it, and you see people who are older and they're 50 and 60 and they're so proud of their school and their alumni. They go to all the football games. That's gonna be me. I'm such an Ole Miss fan. I'm so proud of that program, and I'm so proud of what Coach Hinkes has been able to do because there's no one that is more like fine-tuned to detail. There's no one that cares more about her program. And like you said, this has been a top 25 program now, basically since we got there my freshman year. It really has never had a year where we've fallen off. It's been really, really impressive to see how she's been able to maintain that level of consistency and dominance. Like you said, winning every year. That's hard to do. Not a lot of schools do that. And I think even getting to the national championship every year, people don't realize how difficult it is to do that. You have one bad week and you don't make it. And so I'm really proud of her. I'm really proud of that program. And I'm excited about this year. I'm calling SECs in a few weeks and then we head out to La Costa. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody soon.
Yeah, so you play professional golf. You are the most busy human in golf. You're trying to play professionally. You play in the Epson Tour, and how did this all happen? With it now, she might say it's happenstance, but in reality, when she says she has a tab up on her computer, she used to have like 17 tabs. One with Tiger Woods everything, right? Everything. And then, so she was constantly watching videos, almost like, I would say, like honing your craft when you were younger. For what you're doing now, right?
Yeah, that I guess I never thought of it that way, but, I've always kind of been a golf junkie, like a nerd, and like you said, like I made a bet my sophomore year, 2018, the year Tiger won the Masters, that if he won, because I bet not bet, but I bet my team, I knew that he was going to win, and so I said, "If he wins, I'll name my firstborn after Tiger," so I'm still but, I mean, my dad used to make me drive me to golf tournaments when I was, like, 6 and 7. Tiger used to have a 3-pack of, like, his childhood, his amateur career, and then his early professional career, and instead of watching, like, cartoons or something fun, 6-year-old Julia was in the back seat watching Tiger Woods and his dad, and so I don't know if I've honed my craft with talking about golf. I've always enjoyed talking about golf. Sometimes it's easier to talk about it than play golf. And like you said, I did both for a little bit, probably too long, because you can't have 2 full-time jobs and try to play professional golf and be a broadcaster. Last year, I think we calculated I was on the road like 33 weeks out of the year. So if I wasn't broadcasting, I was playing, and then on the rare off week I had, I come home, I have 3 days at home, I'm still practicing 4 or 5 hours a day. The last few years have been a little unique, I would say. I don't know if there's a lot of people who are doing technically what I was doing, trying to do both. I have decided to take a step back from the professional golf and really dive into broadcasting this year because it really is where my passion lies because I enjoyed playing professional golf. A lot of my friends I played in college with, we all traveled together and it was fun and enjoyable, but I think I enjoyed having a team at Ole Miss. I think I enjoyed having like a greater purpose to play for and having people around me. And I don't know if professional golf is technically for everyone. I don't care how good your amateur or college career was. If you don't have it in you to go out there and grind it out to make a cut and do all these different things. It's not for everybody. And then you see a teammate of mine like Chiara Tamberlini who had a great career at Ole Miss, was a great player, made an international Palmer Cup team, all that good stuff, and is excelling at the professional level. And we could have told you that because she has it in her to be a professional. She's just she's the best and she's so successful. And I think it's okay to decide like, hey, I'm gonna go down a different path in golf. I'm still gonna stay in golf. It's a great career, it's a great sport to be in, but I'm just gonna go a different way. And that's kind of what I've decided to do.
So how did this all come to fruition? Was it just like obviously you played in some matches in Atlanta. Did it come through fruition with just talking to Coach Hinkes about it and her relationship with the Golf Channel? Like, where did that all come from?
Yeah, so my senior year was it was different because I won my first tournament of the year, the Annika, to get that 4th win, which put me up I was the most wins, at Ole Miss, which is one of the reasons why I went back that 5th year. It was the only record I didn't have. So I win that tournament, and then I just it was weird, it was strange. I ended up having surgery a year later, and we found out some of the issues I was having was attributed to that, and just wasn't a great year for me. I played really well at a few events, played well at SECs, but just didn't and I was kind of in a rut, and I think Corey was trying to get me out of it. She didn't know how to, and they had never dealt with this with me before in 4 years. I'd never really had a rut at Ole Miss. I might have had one bad tournament or round once a year, and they couldn't get me out of it, and so Corey I had done all the interviews, like you said, we had done East Lake interviews, I had done interviews at the NCAA, I knew the producers, Brant Packer and Burko, all those guys, so I knew everyone, and she said, "You know what? This might be something interesting for her to do that gets her mind off of playing competitively." So she reached out to a few Golf Channel producers and said, "Hey, can we give her something to be excited about? Can we like let's" And so I ended up doing a few hits on the Golf Channel, which is just crazy. And they brought me in as like kind of a consultant sometimes, I don't know, and just talked about the Augusta National Women's Amateur, talked about SECs, so kinda got a little bit of screen time then, and then, unfortunately, we ended up not making it to the national championship my super senior year, and so Brant was like, "Well, come out, you can shadow." And so I was shadowing, Jim Gallagher, and I had his mic pack on. I was listening to what he was hearing, and if you've never worn a mic pack for live TV, it's very intimidating the first time. You're hearing a bunch of different voices, you're hearing the broadcast, you have to come on when you're supposed to talk, and so I was listening to him, I was shadowing him, and then all of a sudden Brant goes, "Well, why don't you call a match the last day of the national championship, the year Stanford won?" So I get sent out with Rose Zhang, in a match in the national championship, and just kind of incredible that he entrusted me to do that. I don't know why or how he let a 22 or 23-year-old go out there with no experience on TV and call a final match in a national championship, but I did, and, it was pretty good, and I did some interviews, and those were pretty good, and so, that kind of was like, "Okay, well, this is good, now you have a little bit of experience," and then, um someone got Amanda Bloominghurst was about to have her baby, and so that was the US Open was a few weeks later. Well, I get called in to do featured groups at the US Open out of nowhere. And then I got called to do the Curtis Cup, and then I got it kind of just snowballed. And so it was fate and it was lucky timing and it was maybe some good broadcasting on my part that kind of just created this whole thing of doing some tournaments, and so, like I said, I had surgery that fall, and I was just playing and I was just broadcasting at that point, and then I decided to start playing golf again the next January of 2023, I believe, and, that I did both for too long, but, it's been fun, it's been really cool, and now I'm working with ESPN and PGA Tour, headed out next week to go call the players, so, it's been pretty crazy, but I'm very, very thankful.
So I guess the question I want to ask you is like, when you get out there, there's a lot of people that don't know who you are in the PGA Tour, and you're walking the fairways. You want to look around and go, listen, I could play one day. What about me? I could play. I could do this right here." Do you ever have that feeling of like want to hit that shot when you're walking the fairways?
So this is I actually have never walked a fairway for ESPN yet, but I'm doing the Zurich this year, which I'm really excited about. So I will be in the ropes at the Zurich. What I'm doing is I'm in a studio based out of Ponte Vedra. So we're at the PGA Tour Studios, the most beautiful building you've ever seen in your life. Unreal. We're about 200 yards from 17 at Sawgrass. So I'm an analyst in the booth. But yes, to your question is yes. Sometimes I look at a shot and I'm like, dang, did he hit that 43-yard shot to 20 feet? Because I love that number. 43 was like my favorite number in the world to hit, 43 yards. And so sometimes I look at it and I'm like, dang, that wasn't very good. But I actually had someone come up to me, one of our, like the VP of PJ Tour Plus, and he came up to me and he said, last year, he said, "I really respect and I love listening to you because you're kinda hard on these guys." And I'm not hard in the sense of like, "Oh, that was a horrible shot," but I say, "Well, you could have done better than that." And I say that because I know what they're thinking. I know that if he's 75 yards out, he has a perfect shot at the green, perfect angle into that hole location. He hits it to 15 feet. He's disappointed, even though it looks like a good shot. And so I'll say that sometimes, and I'm pretty honest when I broadcast, especially with men, because I know that men have high standards for themselves. And I think that a lot of people respect that because I'm not just on there saying, "Oh, that was such a good shot," when he hit it to 20 feet, because it wasn't. And so I think that that's kind of maybe a little unique about me is that I like to hold them to the level that they should hold themselves. And I give them credit when it's due because I mean, the talent level on the PGA Tour right now is incredible, and it's so fun to watch. And the product that Roll App and these guys are able to deliver right now is pretty impressive. But yeah, I like the fact that I can kind of hold them to a high standard because they should be held to a high standard.
Correct. Correct. Go ahead.
Yeah, Julia, talking about the state of the PGA Tour right now and how good these guys are and how just the depth, especially with PGA Tour U and all these young guys coming on, and you got guys like Blades Brown, who's
Yeah.
you know
A young gun.
a young gun who's really good. And yesterday you see how hard it is to break through on the PGA Tour. Just give me your sense on kind of the veterans and the young guys and just the state of the PGA Tour right now.
If the PGA Tour has ever been in a better spot. I mean, obviously you have Tiger when he's breaking out onto the tour in early 2000s and stuff, and those are prime years for the PGA Tour, but it was pretty top heavy back then with how the talent level on the PGA Tour. I think compared to now, and obviously you have Scotty who everyone wants to make a big deal about the last few weeks and Scotty's what's wrong with Scotty? Nothing is wrong with Scotty. He is fine. He is still playing very, very high level golf. We've just set standards for him now that are Tiger-esque. But I think that the difference in the PGA Tour now is it's not top heavy. You can go any week. You look at Blades, what he was able to do at the American Express. I worked the American Express this year, and so I got to see a lot of Blades Brown when he played, and he could have won that golf tournament. Any player any given week on the PGA Tour can win the golf tournament. I don't care who you are. If you are putting the ball well and you're hitting the ball well, you manage the golf course, any single person can win. And I don't think you could say that about the PGA Tour 20 or 30 years ago. I think you had a high level, it was very top heavy, and then I think it really fell off. And so I think now the difference is even next week at the Players, it's so fun because it truly does feel like anyone can win. And so I'm excited about the PGA Tour. I'm grateful to cover it because like Drew said, I spent most of my time watching the PGA Tour when I was growing up and in college. And if I wasn't calling it, I would be watching it. So I'm thankful to be calling it. So it's a great product right now. I'm excited about this season. Our slogan for the Players is March is Major. And so that's kind of what I've been saying a lot is March is Major. So I'm excited to get down to Ponte Vedra and cover the Players.
So talk about like, you obviously worked extremely hard to become a professional golfer. Talk about some of the learning curve to be a broadcaster. Like, is that something that you really had to study for? And just kind of walk us through a week with Julia here.
Broadcasting is yeah, it's really fun and it's interesting. I have a bunch of notes that I just printed out actually. So today is going to be a study day for me. I'm driving down to Ponte Vedra on Wednesday because the flights just didn't work out. I have a meeting at 4 o'clock. So that's our production meeting, and then we go and we get mic checked. We go in our studios. We kind of make sure everything is going okay, and then this is going to be a pretty big week for me. And I will say this: when I work for Golf Channel and when I work for ESPN PGA Tour, it's a little bit different. The Golf Channel weeks are a lot less strenuous. I would say you're only on air from like let's say 2 to 5. This week I'll be on from 7:15 in the morning till about 7:30 at night. We get
Wow.
breaks obviously. We'll get hour and a half breaks about every 2, 3 hours. And then what's cool is our breaks this week, we can go out and walk to 17 and go watch 16 and 17 and then come back and keep calling it. But these weeks on the PJ Tour are a little bit longer, I would say, especially in the mornings. Mornings are big for us because that's when everyone's tuning in to ESPN, like going on the app, watching because there's no broadcast on yet. And so they're coming in kind of checking out what we're doing and stuff. And so this will be a pretty I would say this will be a pretty big week because it's right there. Any tournament in Florida for PGA, we're on all day. So, I'm excited. This week, I don't think I'll have anything else going on. I was training for a half marathon the last few months, so the last time I was in Florida with the PGA, I was waking up, working out, going I went and hit balls sometimes after we finished at, like, 7, and then I was running 6 and 7 miles basically every day. So last time I was there, I was very active and busy. I think this time I'm just gonna work and then probably go to bed. So
Do you have a sister that just ran something big?
yes, my middle sister just ran a full marathon in
Oh,
January. Made me look like a chump. She is so fast and she's incredible. But she inspired me to run a half. She ran 2 halves last year, so I said, "Well, if you can do 2, I can do 1." So I just did 1. But she ran a full marathon in January.
So you're not competitive at all.
No, yeah. You would think, like, she's running marathons, I can run a marathon. Like,
That's right.
no, it's literally I'm so competitive, it's hard to even function. I'm competitive in my house with my husband. We compete on everything. So I it's good though, a good competitive, I would say.
so Golston, he was talk about Golston a little bit. He is an ex college baseball player as well. So you have some athletic genes in that family.
Yes, he would say he's the only athlete in this family, and then I walk to our golf room and then open my golf cabinet, and I say, "Just look at this, I was an athlete too." But he is a very athletic. He's 6'4", played basketball, played baseball, had a bad back, unfortunately, but played at Ole Miss and then left, went to Tennessee Tech, and then got his master's at App State, had a great career at Tennessee Tech and App State, and, he was a first baseman, switch hitter, very, very athletic, like he likes to tell me all the time. But yes, we compete. He is a big golfer. He is a bigger golfer than I am.
Really?
Drew, you would be like, you would think it's crazy. I just got sent some clubs from Callaway and he was riding my specs out and he's like, you need the Ventus, you need this, you need this. I'm like, what's a Ventus? I've only ever been given clubs. And so I get fitted and then they send them and then I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Like, have no idea what I'm hitting, have no care in the world. And he's like, "You don't even appreciate this club. You have no idea what this shaft is." And I'm like, "No, I don't. I don't care. Like, I'm just gonna hit what they give me." But he is like yesterday, I wouldn't go play with him. He went and walked 9 holes. He'll play he'll play if he can on the weekends 54 holes. Like, he is obsessed with golf, and it's infuriating. So I'm like, right when I'm kinda done, you're just gonna get obsessed with it, but he loves it.
Has he ever beat you in 9 holes?
9 holes. You know, I think he has beat me at 9 holes. Because I think I shot 2 over one time and he shot 1 over, but he's never beaten me in 18, and
Mm.
the first time he broke 80, I gave him what I shoot that day? 67, he shot 76. So I gave him 8 strokes, and he shot 76, and I made a putt on 18 to shoot 67. So even handicapped, he can't beat me, but it's okay. Maybe one day.
All right. So
I got a question. So I was a baseball player. I used to switch hit. I wasn't near as good as your husband, but as a switch hitter, can he play golf both ways, or is he right-handed, left-handed?
No, he cannot play golf both ways. You would think he thinks he probably can, but he can't. He was he was a better I would say this, he's right-handed. He was way better lefty hitting. Like we actually this is so funny. We were outside 2 days ago just like kind of throwing the ball to each other and like just hit it like kind of just hitting and I was like underhand pitching to him and it was like a tennis ball and he missed like 3 times righty and I was like, "You are washed." I was like, "You're horrible." He switched lefty, and I mean, so then he switched, he was like, "Well, let me hit lefty." He switched lefty and, like, rams me with a tennis ball, and he was like, "Okay, he was like, "I'm back." He's way better lefty than he is righty, but he's very athletic, I would say. If he put his mind to it, he could probably hit a few golf balls lefty, but I don't know. He's just trying to work on righty at this point. We're trying to consistently break 80.
Okay, so your ultimate foursome.
Ultimate foursome. Well, Tiger.
Right.
Um, obviously. I think I think Golson would be upset if I didn't put him in there, but so if I put him in there, it'd be Tiger, my husband, and then I'd have to put Scotty or he would probably divorce me. He is a Scotty fiend. So that would be my foursome would be, and then if I took Golson out, it would be Tiger. I'm a big Scotty fan. Like I know that he's all the rage right now. I think it would be fun to play with him in a casual setting because I think he does kind of like to talk and he'll talk a little smack and we're kind of seeing his personality a little bit more lately because he's getting a little bit more frustrated. I would like to play with Scotty. Who else I'd love to play with Spieth, but I want to play with Spieth like when he's just yapping it up with my like I want to hear him. I wanna hear it. I actually had an idea, and I pitched it to someone the other day. I said, "We need a stream where we just mic Spieth up, and we get to hear him just yapping the whole time." I'm trying to think of an older great. I mean, I have so much respect for Mr. Palmer, and being able to play in his cup twice. I was able to play from the Arnold Palmer Cup twice, and I to play with him would be really special. So, I think my final answer is going to be Tiger, Scotty, and Arnie. That would be
I
my
like
3.
that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So speaking of the Arnold Palmer Cup, just real quick, I know Drew's got a bigger agenda, but just walk me through the two Arnold Palmer Cups that you got playing and teammates and the whole experience.
Yeah, I was so honored to play in those. I know everyone's like, "I love the USA." I really do love I love the USA, and anytime you can wear the clothing with the USA on it, it just feels different. It's really special, and it's a reward for the culmination of a really good year, and you get to play with girls that you compete with week in and week out, and, like I said, a couple of my, like, best golf friends, Megan Schofield and Latana Stone, um, we've got Erica Shepherd, Amelia Duran, who I'm now work with and broadcast with, just girls that I grew up with that I got to compete against. I got to play with them for our country, and, we won one, we lost one. The one we lost was actually at Bay Hill, and the internationals just whomped us, but we won at Rich Harvest Farms the next year, which was pretty cool, and it was just the most amazing experience. We got to play with a lot of the guys too, which was pretty fun. So a lot of the guys that are on the PGA Tour now, I get to say I was teammates with them, which was pretty cool. So those were 2 really, really special weeks, and if you go into my golf room, a lot of the stuff that I have, like, out and showcase are a lot of it is from the Palmer Cup because I'm so proud to have been on those teams.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. All right. So we're going to do a segment here. It's going to be rapid fire questions with Julia Johnson Gillespie. And cue the music, Sam. We got music here. We're low budget. So. All right, here you go. You ready? Favorite course you've ever played?
The easiest, Augusta, but a lotion club is probably a lotion club, maybe.
Okay. Hardest course you've ever played?
Carson Creek.
Agreed. Music on the course, yes or no?
No.
Purist.
Yeah.
Purist.
One golfer, past or present, that you'd want as your scramble partner, like a 2-person scramble.
Tiger.
Yeah. Best golfer you've ever seen in person doesn't include Tiger.
God. Can I say Kiara Timberlane?
Yeah, say Kiara. Your walk-up song on the first tee.
The Recipe by Kodak Black. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
My favorite rap song ever.
Favorite golf movie.
I watch a lot of golf movies. Happy Gilmore, the first one, not the second one. The second one was horrible.
Yeah, that checks. Most clutch player in golf history. Why am I asking you this? Come
Sure.
on. Yeah. Course you most want to play, but you haven't played yet.
Chris.
Okay, we were just there last week.
Where are you?
We saw Cyprus. Well, we didn't play
We
it.
didn't play it.
Well, at least you saw it. I've never seen it.
We could see it from, I think, was it 2 and 3 green? It's at Spyglass.
Yeah, Spyglass. You can see it sitting there, and it just kind of like it
Just
gives you
keeps
like
It's like out there in the distance. You're like, oh, I just want to touch it. I just want to go touch the grass, go play a couple holes.
we're playing there next year.
if you go, bring me.
You're in.
It might be a cheat code.
Can I give you like a 6 handicap and just beat everybody?
No, because then y'all are playing against my team.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. We won't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody. Ooh. How do you order your coffee at Starbucks? Because I know you like coffee.
It's different lately. I don't like Starbucks anymore.
Okay, not Starbucks, but anything. How do you order your coffee?
Okay. I'm getting a big one, obviously. So either a venti or a large. It's like an iced caramel latte, but half sweet with an extra shot is what I've been doing now. So the older I get, I'm taking sugar out every year. It's become less and less sweet. So half sweet, extra shot latte.
I don't like you gotta know Sam. Like if she didn't have her coffee, like she wasn't playing golf. Like I'm just saying.
Something I feel like Corey learned too was in the beginning, she was like, okay, we're not doing this every day. And then by the end of my career, she's like, all right, get her two, put one in the cooler, give her the second one at the turn. Like we would get 2 coffees and have them like, she was like, whatever coffee Julia needed, Julia got at that point at the end of my career. Cause she was like, we just have to keep the coffee coming.
Just keep it flowing. Just keep
Okay.
it flowing.
And I got one more question. All right, favorite broadcaster.
Well, obviously Nance, but I'm so impressed by Tirico and what he's doing. I'm a huge football fan.
Love Tarico.
Maybe a bigger football fan than golf fan, and he's maybe my favorite NFL announcer too. I think Tirico, and then he goes to the Olympics. Now I listened to him last night, call Wimby and the Spurs. I think Tirico is probably, and that I'm a company woman, NBC, so Tirico maybe.
Yeah, Tarico. Okay, so just to close it out here, last question. If you had a meeting with your 12-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
Golf gets fun again. Wait it out. You're gonna have some of the best times of your life will be on the golf course, and just keep pushing, and you'll find a team. I was really craving people around me, and I was craving a team at 12. I felt really isolated and lonely, and I would just tell her to keep pushing, keep practicing, that the best years of your life are to come, and that golf will give you everything. Just keep playing and keep practicing.
Okay, so with the players coming up this week, I don't know if you're allowed to make picks or what, but give me 3 guys that you think are going to be on the top of the leaderboard by Sunday.
The players is like Julia. The players is like an interesting tournament where Craig Perks wins, and there's some one-offs that win there. So this is interesting.
We also got two Tupelo-ish guys who've made hole-in-ones on 17.
Yeah.
And Chad.
Yeah, Hayden and Chad.
I always talk about Hayden and Chad when I'm on the booth, and Chad, the Mississippi State boy, and then Hayden, the Mississippi guy that went to Mizzou, got out of Mississippi, but
He was not. If Malloy was there a year earlier,
on
he
Ole
would have
Miss.
been at Ole Miss.
Yeah, for sure. But he's a great player. I'm really rooting hard for him this year. But who would I pick? Yeah, you kind of touched on it. A lot of one-offs. Like I remember that Siwoo Kim won the Players a few years ago. Obviously, Ricky's the one-off that won it. There are a lot of one-offs. You have to say it's Scotty's tournament to lose just because of the caliber of golf he's played. He's the easy pick, but like he kind of feels off. Like he's not off. There's nothing off, but he feels like his temperament is a little different than it's been what we've seen the last few years. So if Scotty gets off to a hot start, if he shoots 4 or 5 under the first day, I think he could be tough to beat. It's all about how he plays on Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh no, it would have been Rory before he I think Rory would have been my pick because of how well he was playing. I know nobody really pays attention to this, but he just won the Seminole, like, member guest with his dad down in, West Palm Beach, and he shot 63 himself at Seminole. It I mean, to do that, you have to be playing some good golf. Rory would have been my pick before last week. Ludwig, maybe? If Ludwig starts playing well again, I could see Ludwig going out there and doing it. I don't know, but that's a tough question. I'm gonna say, is Rory playing this week? Do y'all know?
I don't think well, I'm not sure with his back, like, because he had to
Yeah.
withdraw with his back. So I'm not sure if he's going to play.
Yeah.
So
He would have been my pick before last week. I'm gonna go Colin Morikawa. That'll be my pick.
you just went in a completely different
Even,
direction,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah,
even
I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe Colin. I'll go Colin.
so, Drew, who are your picks?
Well, can I just get one? I'm going to go Tommy Fleetwood. I love Tommy Fleetwood. I'm going to
I
take Tommy.
would love if Tommy would win. He'd be my number
Love it.
one to win. He's my favorite. I love Tommy.
Like, I just love his demeanor, and he's never really won anything, and he's just always a good dude out there. Just always positive. So I want to see Tom, and it's a ball striker's course. So like, I
Is
like your pick of Colin Morikawa, obviously Scotty to lose, but like Tommy Fleetwood is a ball striker. Like he's
Yeah.
my man.
Yeah, I think that's why I picked Colin because I'm sitting here and I'm like naming all these names. I'm like, who hits their irons the best? Colin Morikawa. Can he get his putter hot? Can he get his putter rolling? If he can, I think he's a good one.
What do you think, Sam?
You know, I like both of y'all's picks. I mean, it's hard to go against Scotty. I know that he's kind of struggled. I think if Scotty can settle in, it just looks like the last couple of weeks to me, he's been kind of not rushed, but just out of sync,
Yeah.
and not really in his typical tempo. Speaking of ball strikers, and I'm a big fan of the long ball, because I like ripping dog everywhere. But
Julia, he hit driver. Okay, number one tee at Pebble Beach. Okay, we're playing a tournament there. And
Pebble.
yeah, and the tees were resodded. So we're teeing off the front tee. Okay. It's 180 to the bunker. Okay. He hits his driver like 330 normally. He hits driver on that.
Did you hit it on the green from there?
No,
He hit it in
no.
the houses and hit it in the condos and hit it.
No.
I was like, I walked up on the tee when he's teeing off. I'm like, dude, we got
Well,
10 cup action.
it was
going
a little bit of a tin cup moment. I was a baseball player, started playing golf kind of late, and my dad, when I first started playing golf, my first ever tournament was actually at the university course at Ole Miss as an SJGT, and I think it was 10. It was my first ever competitive golf tournament, hole ever, and
Yeah.
I hit 4 tee balls because I didn't know if any of them were in play. So my dad started calling me tin cup from then on out. So, but no, my first one wasn't that bad. It was literally if
It just bounced off a roof.
no, it did not.
Oh.
The second one I did hit a little bit off the map right, and it hit one of the buildings over there and kicked back into play, which was kind of nice. Ended up making double, but
You
You
want
should
to know?
realistically be hitting what, an 8, you could hit a 9 iron off that tee if it's
Okay.
180 to
What do you think I hit, Julia, knowing me?
a 9 or an 8.
Yeah, I hit a 7 iron off the tee.
Like, it's just you just don't have to hit driver on that hole.
oh,
But
I just I I wanted to, and I mean we did talk about it on the podcast. Drew asked me what I was going to hit off the one, and I said I was going to rip dog. I was going to hit driver, and when I got there, I wasn't going to wuss out. And
Me being an ex-coach, I'm sitting there shaking my head, going, "Not a smart choice, but okay."
he tried to talk me out of it the night before. And I was like, dude, I can't. I already said
Yeah.
I was going to do it, so I got to do it.
there you go. Well, you did it.
But you did it.
But no, I want Cam Young to win.
Cam Young.
That's
Okay.
It's a weird. It's kind of a curveball, but I think Cam Young, he hits it so good. He hits it so far. If he gets the putter going, I think he's a guy who can make some noise.
That pick. He likes that little baby draw too, and a lot of those holes kind of require that little right to left, like pretty little draw. And I called the Wyndham last year when he won for the first time, and he had just gone back. And Drew, you would appreciate this as a swing coach. He had talked a lot about how he had just decided that he's going to hit that little right to left shot shape. He had made the decision, he committed to it. He's not going to try to be this two shot guy, and he can obviously hit a fade if he needs to or has to. But when he made that decision to go back to that little baby draw, it totally changed the game for him. And like if anyone's watching this and they feel like they have to hit a fade or they have to do this, hit what you hit. Like Cameron Young did it. He decided to hit a draw, and it kind of changed the rest of the year for him last year. So hit your shot, and I think that he if he can rely on that little draw, he's a good pick too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Julia, we really appreciate you being on the podcast this morning. We've had a really, really good time. It's great to see you.
Good to see
I'm so excited for your future. We're going to be sitting here watching you, just rooting for you. I think the Golf Channel is going to elevate you, and you're gonna go to the stars, girl. You're going to do awesome. I'm so excited for you. So, congratulations on your career. Say hey to Golston, and thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you.
meet you. Thank you guys for having me. It was so fun. It was good to see you both.
Yeah. Thanks, Julia. Have a great day.
Bye, guys.
Bye.